Hey, howdy everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm checking out a request from my band Pig Vomit has 5 sales. He's in my Discord, he's been chilling in there. His Patreon says his name is My Band Pig Vomit has 3 sales. So congratulations on the upgrade to 5. Maybe you'll get more. But congratulations, 5 is good. This request is for Snow Sleep by Kardashev, you know, because you clicked on the video. I've heard Liminal Right. I think it's a really, really cool album. Not something that I go back to every day, but I really do enjoy it, and I think it's a very solid album. I think it's officially like death gaze, kind of. It's like death metal, shoegazy, kind of weird fusion. It's very interesting. It has a very unique sound, and I really do like it. And obviously Mark, the vocalist, has a YouTube channel where he I mean, if you're in this space, you probably have seen his stuff because he's way more popular than me. So if you know me, you probably know him. But he does a lot of like vocal analysis stuff, and he gets really into like how you make certain sounds for like streaming vocals and stuff, which is really interesting because I am not that kind of vocalist. I'm primarily just a normal vocalist, classically trained, sung a lot of opera, did a lot of like art songs and stuff like that. But this is something that I know a little bit less about. So I like watching his videos. They're very informative. They're like 45 minutes long for a 2-minute track. And he just goes into like super detail about all this kind of stuff, and it's really interesting. And I don't know, maybe one day I'll take a lesson from him or something if I'm feeling it. We'll see, because I think he does offer lessons. His channel is Cardavox Academy, and then the band is Kardashev. So check that out if you have not heard of him or this band before, because both very interesting. Let's get into this. This is from their album, The Bearing of Shadows, which I have not heard. So Liminal Right is the only work of theirs that I've heard. And in the description it says, with this song, Kardashev takes you on a sonic journey through a hypothetical story of a family abandoning their child to die in the wilderness. So not the most ideal situation, but it should make for a good video. So let's check this out. Big hype. Love the Kardashev that I've been exposed to so far. So let's hear more of it. Let's go. This is almost 8 minutes long, so it's a nice solid request. So let's get into this. Sorry, I was messing with my mixer off to the side here. That reverb on the drums, dude. Big echoey atmosphere. Definitely going to talk about this. Oh. There's my boy. Love river. Give it to me, Mark. Ooh. Wow. Yeah. Oh, this is gorgeous. I feel like here's like a good pausing point if I'm going to pause at any point. I love the weird juxtaposition between the very chaotic, fast drumming and guitar work and everything, and then Mark's beautiful soaring vocals and the really slow 3/4 overall feel of it. It feels like the tempo's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then he's playing like 256th notes on the drums. And it works so well because it creates this calming atmosphere while at the same time being intense chaos. And it's weird. But that's what's great about Kardashev, is like this kind of vibe is so unique. And I'm sure there's other bands that do it, but Kardashev I think is the only band that I've heard in this sort of niche, like death gaze genre with probably with some black metal influence. Maybe not in like the tone, but like in just the very fast drumming. Yeah. Man, this is so good. This is gorgeous. Lots of reverb. You know, sorry, this is kind of reminding me of Autumn's Dawn, Winter's Darkness by Fathomage. When I listened to that album, I was kind of just like this the whole time, and this has kind of the same vibe, but with a more approachable production. I'm going to say approachable instead of better, because obviously productions are subjective. Music in general is subjective, but with production especially, when you have something like Autumn's Dawn, Winter's Darkness, which is so heavily built around atmosphere, you can't really say the production's bad, and I talked about it in that video. But something like this, it's giving me that same feeling, but with a more thickly layered production as opposed to like a very thin treble-based production. And obviously I'm saying like the black metal influence doesn't come from like the very teeny treble-based production of it, but I think just instrumentally I'm getting a little bit of black metal in this too. Very interesting. Let's keep going. Zelda Cup. That's another thing that black metal does, is it kind of finds this atmosphere little pocket, and then it milks it and it repeats things and sort of just gets you in the headspace for like a musical journey. I really like that the vocals are more in the background. Definitely adds to the atmosphere. sorry. Ooh, triplet. Oh, dude, his screams are so good. Which you know if you watch any of his content, but it's just, I gotta point it out. Dude, like, his beautiful soft lyric tenor voice is so perfect. Oh. Where have you gone? Sorry. I'm gonna pop off again because there's... Oh, no. That's the end? That's the end of the song? Wow. That's very good. That's it? I guess I've been recording for 13 minutes. Yeah, like I said, man, like I'm just so impressed with everything that I've heard from this band. Granted, it's only been Liminal, right? But like what they have with their sound is so unique, especially with Mark's voice, because the way that he can go from like those screams to that gorgeous tenor voice is just kind of insane. Like I don't know much. Correction, I don't know anything about like any real proper techniques for screaming. But the way that he does that is so beautiful. And I don't know, a lot of people see like a singing voice like that as kind of the antithesis of vocals like that. Like putting those two together is just weird. I think mostly because a lot of people just don't do it. Like you have people who have really good voices, but they just either do like one or the other. Usually screaming if it's going to be like one and not the other. Like look at like Will Ramos, for example. Like Will's voice, his singing voice is so good, but he's not doing any of that in Lorna Shore. I think he's very underutilized in that band. But I want him to do singing. I know the fans of Lorna Shore and like the genre won't like that, but I want him to sing more. I want him to like start doing more singing. Like his covers are so good. So like here with Mark, like obviously I know about his vocal capabilities. I've been watching his videos for a while and I love like his music, but it's still so impressive every time he does it. It's so good. Instrumentally, the band is really, really good too, because that's where the majority of the atmosphere is coming from. So you can't discount the band creating that gorgeous atmosphere just because Mark stands out so much. Man, yeah, the atmosphere was beautiful. That little melody part. It's using those like seventh chords, and it's doing this sort of chord pattern where I've talked about this before, but if you move in thirds, it just does something to my brain and it makes me happy. Like at the very beginning here, we had this nice little chord progression with some clean guitars coming in. Here we had like this. And it's kind of playing with this. That's something that I've talked about in other videos as well, but I really like when there's some sort of like pattern that persists through the chord changes, because the pattern in each of the different chords plays a different role. So here, in like this one chord that we have here at the very beginning, here, it's sort of creating a second dissonance here, which sounds pretty cool. It's not too much of a dissonance though. And then when we jump down from the 1 to the 6, now it's creating this tritone dissonance, and it sounds even more dissonant, and it lends itself to creating a little bit of tension in that atmosphere. And then here, when it goes to this chord, instead of this note being the tense note like it was for this chord and this one, now this chord is the resolution, and we're going from this one being the tense note, creating this suspended fourth harmony, into this to completing the chord. And it happens really quickly, but stuff like this, when you break it apart and you analyze it and stuff, that's why it sounds good. So here we're creating a little bit of tension with this note specifically, creating more tension, even more tension because it's a tritone interval, which is more tense than just a regular major second. Then we go up to here, and then now we're taking that tension, and then the tension becomes the resolution. And then back here. And that's why you can do something so simple as just like a 1, 6, 7. Just like a 1, 6, 7 chord progression. But then if you have something that persists throughout that, like a little bit of melody, it can just make all the difference in the world. That's why, and they sound nothing like Vola, but that's why I like Vola so much, is because Vola will have relatively simple chords and things, but then they'll have like a little synth part or something like that, or like a little vocal melody or something that just elevates it to the next level, kind of like that, like I just explained there. It's what makes them so good, and it's what makes Kardashev so good as well. Just like little things like that. And then taking that melody and making it heavier and creating more of this black metal, death metal atmosphere with that. Okay, the dog's barking. I don't know if you can hear her, but with the juxtaposition of the very soft vocals that Mark's doing with all that reverb, that's when you transcend. That's when you just sit there and you're like, wow, that's really good. I'm gonna give this song a 9 out of 10. Very solid. I want to hear the whole album now. I don't know if I have time to. Maybe I should add it to my Patreon poll or something, which I'm going to start up next month, because this month I have to catch up on a bunch of albums that I have been missing out on from this year because I've been so busy. But busy season is basically over for me now, other than just working and teaching and all that. But all the work that I have to do, all the like actual work part of it is done, so that's good. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this song. Great song from a great band. Looking forward to hearing more. Thanks to my band Pig Vomit Has 5 Sales for recommending this. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the support, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.